Very good morning to all the students of class plus 2C. As you can see on the board, I have planned and proposed this chapter, the rat trap, today. Fine. Very important chapter from point of view of exams also. And when it comes to, let everyone join. I have written, if you can see, if it's visible to you, three themes I have chosen. There are n number of themes in this chapter, but particularly I have written these three themes. So before starting the chapter, I'll discuss what you're going to read in it. So this story is about a peddler, a vagabond. Fine. Peddler is a person, or a vagabond, one and same thing. Vagabond or peddler is a person who does not have any home to stay. Fine. Just like a refugee, he is moving from one place to another. Wherever he gets place, he sleeps. Whatever he gets to eat, he eats. So he does not have any family. Fine. They will be using the word paddler only for this man who's the protagonist of this chapter, the rat trap. Clear? My voice is very much clear to all of you. So this man, what he does, he sells rat traps. The name of the chapter is rat traps. Rat trap. Fine. In which rat is caught. You might have seen your mothers putting rat traps in your kitchens or in the rooms. Sometimes many rats are there. So they just hang over a piece of cheese, or you can say wheat or bread or anything which can allure the rats. And they enter into the rat trap and the bait is there. And finally, when they touch the bait, where this piece of cheese or is being hanged, and when the mouse touches it, the moment the rat touches it, it just shuts and the rat is trapped inside the rat trap. This is the literal meaning. Fine. But now in context of this chapter, as I have written, I can show you. You can see here, beta. First, material benefits are the traps for human beings. Fine. First theme is material benefits are traps for human beings. We all human beings are trapped in materialistic society. Clear? We have materialistic bent of mind and materialistic approach. Now, what is this materialistic approach? We people just want to gather a lot of things. We people are, after we are running madly after brands these days. We want to possess the, you can say, valuables, best clothing and ornaments, and you can say vehicles or whatnot. Fine. So all the things, according to this peddler, who is the protagonist of this chapter, all the things for all the human beings are actually traps. So they allure us the way a rat gets attracted to a piece of bread or pork or cheese. Similarly, we people, we human beings, we get attracted to these materialistic things. And when we are trapped in it, we are stuck inside the rat trap. Clear, beta? Is the introduction of this chapter clear or phenomena is clear to you? Then send me thumbs up. I just want to know you are listening to me. I want immediately. Amarpreet is saying yes. Apurv, Lakshit, Suhani, Sutmanjot. Very good, most of you. Yeah. So now moving forward to second theme. Clear? So all the materialistic things are traps for us. We people get attracted to it and we are trapped. Now we have second, honesty is the best legacy. This theme, no doubt we all are trapped in this world. We are getting materialistic these days. And second thing is, honesty is the best legacy here means the best asset one can have is honesty. If one is honest to oneself and if one is honest to others, he need not get scared of anything. We all are imperfect. Fine. Nobody is specially, you can say that no, I have, I'm just perfect, I do not commit mistakes. Every one of us commits mistakes, but the thing is to accept your mistakes, and you should seek forgiveness for your mistakes also. So peddler is going to commit mistakes in this chapter, but at last how he becomes honest, fine, that is to be seen in this chapter. He is going to steal the things also, because he is very you can say living on meager amount of things. He does not have home, does not have food to eat, just sells rat traps by stealing the wires and then making rat traps and selling there, here and there. And he does not have a place where he sits and sells the rat traps. He just hangs around the rat traps around his neck, and he walks from street to street, from one place to another, and if anybody purchases, he gets money. If nobody purchases, he's out of money. So to he's having hand to mouth existence. He's not rich person who's having luxurious life. He's just having hand to mouth existence. This peddler, this man, they are not using any name for him. Remember, those who have joined later, I'm talking about the protagonist of this chapter, who is a peddler, a person who walks on foot here and there and sells the things. Fine. So he is rat trap sellers. Clear? Now, third theme is essential goodness lies in everyone. It means we say now this person is good, this person is not good, but I am better than this. We start comparing and contrasting our personas, our personalities with others. In this case, we say that essential goodness lies in every one of us. Nobody is born that in that way that he starts or she starts hating others. We are taught to hate others, we are taught to love others, we are taught to discriminate. Fine. In that way, whatever we have learned is taught to us. We have seen around us, from our families, from our friends, from the society at large. We have learned everything. But if even a harsh person is there, even then okay beta, so you can say essential goodness lies in every one of us. Nobody is born in such way. And if you start treating even a person who's not good enough, even then you can change that person. Clear? The person is not good enough, the way he behaves with you or the way he treats you, but you start showing your gestures in a good manner, you start showing sympathetic attitude towards you. I personally believe the people who do not behave well in the society, and the people who are very harsh enough to, you can say, deal with others, who do not express themselves properly, who are very rude to you. You can see these kind of personalities are easily, you can say, to be found around us, in our families, in our friends. They're very rude. We say this person always talks rudely, this person does not know how to speak, he does not have manners, blah blah blah. So many things are there. Clear? So the thing is, actually these are the people who need our, you can say, love and affection and sympathy and empathy at the most. Clear? We should empathize with them, we should sympathize with them, we should think about them, because when we start giving love to them, their personality will definitely change. They have faced something in their lives, that's why they have become so. This is the phenomena. Clear? So there will be one more other characters will be coming. The moment they will come, we will be introducing to you. Fine, let's start. This is the introduction of or themes or the various, you can say, concepts associated with this chapter, the rat trap. Now I'll be sharing screen with you, Orbita. Kindly open page number 32 of your book, chapter number 4, rat trap. Clear? Yes. So before we start this chapter, let's read about the author. Yes, about the author. Selma Lagerlöf, 1858 to 1940, was a Swedish writer whose stories have been translated into many languages. A universal theme runs through all of them, a belief that essential goodness in a human being can be awakened through understanding and love. Better underline this line. Jaldi se. Come on. This is the major, you can say, theme of this author in almost all the stories. But in this rat trap, this is the foremost, that essential goodness in a human being can be awakened through understanding and love. I told you already, the people who are having it least, They can have it the most if you treat them lovingly. Clear? Essential goodness lies in everyone. You just need to awake it through your love and understanding. This story is set amidst the mines of Sweden, rich in iron and iron ore, which figure large in the history and legends of the country. The story is told somewhat in manner of a fairy tale. Clear? So we'll be reading about that iron mines and all, and in the background of the story is set in Sweden. These expressions will be there. When we will read, we'll be able to understand side by side. Clear, beta? Once upon a time, I'm going to start this. It's just like the way we tell a tale to a child, a fairy tale. In that way, story is expressed by the author. Clear? Very interesting chapter, beta, please. And those who will be attending the period of English, they have to attend on daily basis. Don't think that it's English only, that we won't be attending tomorrow and all. Only 3 periods are left per week now. Maybe I'll be taking extra classes if required. Clear? So let's start with this. Once upon a time, there was a man who went around selling small rat traps of wire. He made them himself at odd moments from the material he got by begging in the stores or at the big farms. But even so, the business was not especially profitable. So he had to resort to both begging and petty thievery. Underline begging and petty thievery to keep body and soul together. Even so, his clothes were in rags, his cheeks were sunken, and hunger gleamed in his eyes. Keep your pencils ready in your hands or pens. I'll be telling you the meanings now. Now, in this first paragraph, author is telling us once upon a time there was a man. They have not mentioned any name. Fine. A man was there and he used to sell small rat traps of wire. And he used to make themselves, he would make all the rat traps by himself. But how would he get the material? Because he was a very poor man who could not afford to buy it properly. So what he used to do, he would beg in the stores. He also, perform the role of a beggar. He would beg others for money. Secondly, and his business was not profitable. So that's why he has to resort to means when you're depended upon. Resort to means depend upon. Keep writing the meanings better. Both begging and petty thievery. Now, petty, what do you mean by petty thievery? Thievery is to steal something, chori karna. But in petty thievery here means the thievery of, you can say, smaller things which are not too huge. Like he was going somewhere, he was picking an object was worth few rupees only. He was not going into the jewelry shop or looting them and taking, not that way. Petty thievery means he was just out of which he could buy his wires or one meal in that way. Fine, small, you can say in smaller amount he would do the thievery. So keep body and soul together. So this expression is there, beta. To keep body and soul together means to survive. In one word, we can say to survive. Even so, his clothes were in rags. Means he was not even wearing proper clothes. Fate hue the, in rags they. His cheeks were sunken and hunger gleamed in his eyes. You can see hunger in his eyes. He was like not getting proper meals or 2 meals, 3 meals per day. He was just, sometimes he used to get, sometimes he used to sleep in a hungry, with a hungry stomach only. Sunken here means submerged. SUBMERGED. Fine. Means, you see, if a proper malnutrition, you can say, person is having, the people are not getting proper food. You can say many poor people, beggars around, just with no, you can say, spark in their eyes because of the hunger. No gleam is there. They look very pale. Fine. In that way. So no one can imagine, second paragraph I'm reading, beta. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond who plods along the road. Now, plods along the road. It means to work hard. Underline the second expression, plods along the road. It means to work hard. Vagabond is, you can say, a wanderer, an unsettled person. In the beginning, I already told you, many students have joined later. Let me tell you, we will be using three words for this protagonist. Clear? One is peddler. Mainly we will be using the word peddler, P-E-D-L-A-R. Peddler is a person who sells the things here and there, and he walks on foot. He is not having any vehicle to go here and there. Clear? That's why we call him peddler. Second is vagabond. Vagabond is a person who is, you can say, moving here and there, who does not have any home to live in or any place. Fine. And third word we can use is wanderer. W-A-N-D-E-R-E-R. Wanderer is a person who keeps on wandering here and there in search of food or shelter. Clear? He does not have any family. He is living all alone, all by himself, selling rat traps, earning money, sometimes gets food, sometimes gets shelter, sometimes he does not. Clear? So, left to his own meditations means he is left to his own meditation here means that he is just taking care of himself in any manner he can do. But one day this man had fallen into a line of thought. Line of thought means one idea entered his mind. One line of thought, one particular idea entered his mind. And what was that thought? Which really seemed to him entertaining. When that idea came to his mind, he thought that this is very thought-provoking idea. This is very entertaining idea. What was that idea? He had naturally been thinking of his rat traps when suddenly he was struck by the idea that, क्या idea आया उसको? Let's read. He was having this idea that the whole world about him, the whole world, you can say around him, with its lands and seas, its cities and villages was nothing but a big rat trap. Clear now? This idea struck in the mind of this protagonist, peddler, a vagabond, wanderer. Clear? If anybody is having doubt, can ask me right now. I'm going to take the story further. Send me thumbs up. Come on, fast. I'm checking who's listening to me. Fast enough. You should be quick enough. Fine, most of you. Good. So, the whole world, this idea entered his mind, that whole world. Let me see the time we are having. This is third period going on, 10:45. Okay, we are having 15 minutes now. So this whole world with its lands and seas and its cities and villages, it's just like a big rat trap to all of us. And it had never existed for any other purpose than to set baits for people. I told you the meaning of bait. When a rat is trying to catch the, you can say when rat trap is there for the rats to be caught inside it, we people put the baits, like we add up cheese, pork or bread, anything extra, so that we can allure or attract the rat inside the rat trap. They are the baits. So for us, so many things are there which are set as baits. Kya kya hai wo? Underline. It offered riches and joys, shelter and food, heat and clothing, exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork. And as soon as anyone let himself be tempted to touch the bait, it closed in on him, and then everything came to an end. So beta, this is important thing to remember. This idea, this line of thought, this philosophical idea entered the mind of peddler, that the whole world is a rat trap and all the human beings are going to touch the baits either today or tomorrow. And he believes that there are two categories of people. Those, first category is those who have already touched the bait, who are already trapped inside it. Second category of people who are about to touch the baits. Fine. It means every one of us will touch the bait one day. Every one of us will be trapped inside this. Fine. This is the idea. This is good idea, and he's right also in saying so. Now, this next stanza. The world had, of course, never been kind to him. So it gave him unwanted joy. Now, yes, beta, you can see in this paragraph, The world had, of course, never been very kind to him, so it gave him unwanted joy. W-O, it's not A, fine. Unwanted here means unusual, asadharan, unusual, unwanted. Underline the word unwanted, unusual, then underline the word ploddings. Fourth line of this paragraph, ploddings. Ploddings means, you can say, trudging, walking, right? Trudging from one place to another. Then there is, in third line, there is one word, dreary. Last word is there. You can see here. This word, dreary, it means dull. Dull. Then we have, in second last line, we have the word dangerous snare. Snare means trap again. This word, S-N-A-R-E. Snare means trap. Fine, beta? So, now the world had, of course, never been very kind to him. He had very tough life. So that's why he was having unusual joy to think all of. He started thinking that this world is not a good place to live in. All our people are like getting trapped, including me. And it has become a pastime for him, a hobby for him to think about this idea, as if he has achieved, you know what, he was having a kind of fulfillment after thinking about this idea. During many dreary plottings to think of people he knew who had let themselves to be caught in the dangerous trap or snare, and of others who were still circling around the bait. So whenever he did not have any work to do, whenever he was totally free, moving here and there in search of food and shelter, he would think of this idea that there are many people who are circling around the bait, who are about to caught or who are already caught. And he started thinking that, okay, that person is already caught, he's trapped, she's trapped. In that way, he used to think of the people. Clear? Now, from here onwards, one dark evening. Clear? This paragraph I'm going to read now, beta. Please pay attention. One dark evening, as he was trudging along the road, he caught sight of a little grey cottage by the roadside. So now next character is going to enter the story. Be vigilant, beta. One dark evening, as night was about to fall and he was just walking along the road, he caught sight of a little grey colored cottage on the roadside, and he knocked on the door to ask shelter for the night. As I already told you, he would ask people if he could not get shelter, and he started knocking at the door. And nor was he refused. Instead of the sore faces which ordinarily met him, the owner, who was an old man without wife or child, was happy to get someone to talk to in his loneliness. Underline this, Peter. Whenever he would ask for refuge for one night or one day to stay at anyone's place, nobody would, allow a stranger to enter their house. It's quite obvious. He would never get a chance. Most of the times, people would say no on his face, that no, we don't have any space in our houses, you can go. And most of the people were having families, definitely they would get scared of any stranger to entering their house. So that dark evening, when he just knocked at the door, he was not refused, to his amazement. There was one old man. Actually, what was the reason? The old man who was living in that cottage, in small cottage at a secluded place, he does not have any family also. So he was only all alone, dying to talk to anyone. It is human psychology that we people want to share our feelings with someone. That's why we have friends. Some things we can't share with our parents, even we can't talk to our teacher about it, we talk to our friends for that. So that's why we need to someone to look forward to talk to pour our feelings out. This is the need of the hour. So that day, that old man, he was having no family to live. So he let that peddler get in his house, in his cottage. Now, he was happy because he got actually someone to talk to. He was quite feeling lonely. Immediately, he put the porridge pot on the fire and gave him supper. Porridge is, you can say, the way you eat porridge, in the breakfast, usually we do porridge, jisko aap dalia bol dete ho. Yeah, sometimes you can say milk with grains in English, you can say. Fine, that is called porridge. Porridge bowl, he put that porridge on the pot, and he was having that leftover maybe that day, and he gave him supper. Supper means dinner. he served that porridge to him as a dinner. Then he carved off such a big slice from his tobacco roll that it was enough both for the stranger's pipe and his own. Finally, he got out an old pack of cards and played Majolis with his guest until bedtime. So very soon, the moment he entered, they became quite friendly. They shared a common trait that both were lonely. Both did not have anyone to talk to, so both were having this trait common. So that's why it led to their friendship immediately after meeting. So this old man who offered him, who was living in the cottage, offered him porridge. Then he also offered, you can say, tobacco roll, smoke ke liye. And then he start playing game of cards, which is called Majolis, together. Jab tak wo soye. The old man was just as generous with his confidences as with his porridge and tobacco. The guest was informed at once that in his days of prosperity, his host had been a crofter at Ramshaw Ironworks and had worked on the land. Now, thing to be noted, it is a new profession. You might not have heard about it even. But he starts telling, this old man in the cottage, he became so friendly with this, you can say, man, that he started telling his own story to him. That once he was, we'll be finishing this paragraph, beta. Then I'll have to join the other meeting. So the old man was just as generous with his confidences as with his porridge and tobacco. He informed him that when he was having prosperous days of life, good days of his life, he was a crofter. Now, crofter is a person who rents their farms to others. Fine, they are having the land and all. They rent their farms to others. They are called crofters. And he was working at ironworks and had worked on the land himself also. And it was his cow which supported him. He has a cow. He used to milk that cow, and he was having very good days of life, you can say. She could give milk for the creamery every day, and last month he had received all of the 30 kronor in the payment. Now, what is kronor? Kronor is the currency of freedom. Sorry, what I am saying, a currency of Sweden. Fine, I'm so sorry about it. It's currency of Sweden. This is the background where this chapter is situated, and the place is Sweden. And currency of Sweden is called, you can say, it is measured in kronors. The way you count your money in rupees, they count their money in kronors. So he became so friendly with this man, with this peddler. He started telling the amount he earned recently. Right? One should not be so friendly with strangers that you should start telling everything to them. But he became clear. The stranger must have seemed incredulous. Incredulous means unwilling to accept. The person who is unwilling to accept. So the stranger must have seemed incredulous, for the old man got up and went to the window, took down a leather pouch which hung on a nail in the very window frame, and picked out 3 wrinkled 10 kronor bills. These he held up before the eyes of the guest, nodding knowingly. So he wanted to show that, yes, I have earned 30 kronors. Fine, and total amount which he has earned last month, just to make that stranger that he should believe whatever he's telling him. So there was a nail near the window. He went there, and there was a pouch which was hanging. He just brought 30 kronors, 10 kronors, 3 notes were there, 3 notes of 10 kronors each, so total 30 kronors. He showed to the guest, and guest was looking, and now he's thought, yes, he's definitely having 30 kronors. So with this, I'm leaving, beta, because I'm having next class also. Have a nice day, and join immediately tomorrow also.